Imagine this. You're the most honest person on the planet. The kind of person who returns a lost wallet with the cash still inside. The kind of person who chased down a stranger 3 blocks just to hand back a 100 yen coin they dropped. Now imagine that exact same person gets handed a suitcase with 100 million yen in it. No note explaining why. No sender. Just cash and a letter that says one thing. Welcome to the liar game. Sounds like a dream, right? It's not. It's the beginning of the most quietly terrifying psychological thriller anime of the year. And by the end of episode 1, you're going to understand exactly why everyone's been losing sleep over this show. I'm Shreps, and welcome to Anime Explain AI. And this is Liar Game Episode 1, fully broken down. Let's get into it. Okay, so first, let's talk about our main character, because honestly, she might be the most dumb and dangerous kind of protagonist an anime has ever handed us. Her name is Nao Kanzaki, college student. Painfully, almost comically honest, like, bro, what? We're talking about a girl who returns extra change to the vending machine levels of honest. Like, bro, she is kinda really honest.
And look, normally, the good, honest protagonist is a compliment in anime.
It usually means they're the hero, the one everyone trusts, the moral compass, the person who wins because they did the right thing. Liar Game looks you dead in the eye and goes, the cute look is always fake. Now watch what happens to good people in a world built entirely out of liars, because that's the trap. Nao's honesty isn't a superpower here. It's a bullseye painted right on her back. So one totally normal day, a package shows up at Nao's door, no warning. Inside, a stack of cash worth 100 million yen, that's roughly 2/3 of $1 million, and a letter explaining the rules of something called the Liar Game Tournament. The rules are almost insultingly simple. 1. You're paired against one other contestant. 2. At the end of the round, whoever has the most money wins. 3. Steal your opponent's cash by any means necessary. Lying, manipulation, tricks, all fair game, literally. 4. If you lose, you don't just lose the round. You're now in debt for the amount you lost. And here's the part that turns this from weird prank into nightmare fuel. There's no opt-out button. No thanks, I'll pass. The second that money touched her hands, Nao was already playing. Try being honest in a game that punishes honesty as a design feature. That's the whole show in one sentence. Now, credit where it's due. Nao isn't stupid, she's just principled. Her first move is exactly what any of us would do. Go to the authorities. She tries lawyers, ignored. She tries the police, ignored. Because on paper, this isn't a crime. Nobody's holding her at gunpoint. There's no weapon, no kidnapping, no evidence of coercion that any officer is going to take seriously. It's just a game, as far as the system is concerned. And that's genuinely one of the smartest things this episode does. It's not a fantasy monster or a supernatural curse trapping her. It's paperwork and plausible deniability. The scariest cage in this show isn't made of iron. It's made of nobody believing you. Here's where the episode really sinks the knife in. Nao's opponent for round 1 isn't a stranger. It's someone she trusts completely, a former teacher of hers. Somebody with history. Somebody who in any normal story would be the safe adult who helps the confused kid figure out what's going on. Instead, that trust gets used as a weapon against her. Without spoiling every beat for you, let's just say the money doesn't stay in Nao's hands for long, and it's not some criminal mastermind who takes it. It's someone she had zero reason to suspect. And that's the gut punch of episode 1. This show isn't asking, can you beat a stranger at a game of wits? It's asking something way uglier. What happens when the game rewards betraying the people who love you? And someone you love does it anyway. Just when it looks like Nao is completely cooked. Broke, betrayed, alone, and now legally on the hook for a debt she never should have had. Episode 1 introduces the character everyone's been talking about. Shinichi Akiyama. Former con artist, genius-level manipulator. The kind of guy who reads a room the way most people read a text message. Instantly, and better than you'd like. Now here's what makes him interesting instead of just cool mentor number 400. Akiyama isn't some noble hero who's decided to save the innocent girl out of the goodness of his heart.
He's someone who's been inside the exact kind of world now just got thrown into and walked away from it. Whatever brings him back into this game with her, it's not charity. It's complicated. And that's exactly the kind of ambiguity that makes a mentor character actually interesting instead of just a walking safety net. The moment these two are in the same frame, the entire tone of the show shifts. Suddenly, the question isn't, will Neo survive? It's what happens when the most honest person alive starts learning how to lie. Let's zoom out for a second, because I want to talk about why this premiere works as well as it does. A lot of death game or survival game anime lean on shock value, gore, jump scares, over-the-top villains, twirling mustaches. Liar Game doesn't need any of that. There's no monster, no blood, just people in a room lying to each other. And somehow that's scarier, because the horror here isn't external. It's not, will a monster get me? It's, will the person sitting across from me, someone I know, someone I trust, decide that my ruin is worth their win? That's a kind of tension you can't fake with jump scares. It has to be built patiently through character. And episode 1 absolutely earns it. Before we wrap up, here's what I'd keep an eye on as this series moves forward. First, how fast Now changes. Does she stay stubbornly honest, or does survival start chipping away at that? That arc is the emotional spine of the whole show. Second, Akiyama's real motive. Genius mentors in these shows almost never show up just because. What does he actually want out of this? Third, the system itself. Who's actually running the Liar Game tournament? And why does a shadowy organization want ordinary people destroying each other over cash? Those three threads are what turn episode 1 from solid premiere into the setup for something much bigger. So yeah, that's Liar Game, episode 1. A show that hands you a suitcase full of money in the cold open, and by the end credits, makes you terrified of what that money actually cost. If you're into psychological thrillers that trust you to sit with tension instead of spelling everything out, this one's absolutely worth your time. Let me know in the comments. If you got that 100 million yen package tomorrow, would you even open it? Hit subscribe if you want episode 2 broken down, and I'll see you in the next one.